Joe here, your reliability man, bridging the gap between best practices and your reality. Today's lean driven reliability topic of the day is the secrets, two of them, to reliability results. First, if you like what you're seeing, please hit subscribe. It means a lot to me. I want to know how many people are out there consistently listening to my message. In the early 2000s, I read a book, Making Common Sense Common Practice by Ron Moore, 2002 edition. Exceptional book, $53 on Amazon. Highly recommend it. I was a R&M and engineering manager at a large asset-based company. We were externally assessed very high for our reliability systems. You know, good planning and scheduling. We were doing some predictive technologies. We had engineers. We had some teams that were working on reliability issues. And, you know, you checked all the boxes that we were doing the right stuff. However, our financial results and our OE data was all trending in the wrong direction. Not bad, but it was all getting worse, and we were doing all the right stuff. Quite frankly, my staff and I were very frustrated. We had several sessions where we talked about, is this what good looks like? Is this life in a 50-year-old factory? Is this as good as we get? And I actually read this book for a third time, number 3. Maybe I'm slower than the average person. But I came across page 220, and I'd like to share a little bit of that with you. 220 talked about a chemical corporation, and they divided up their reliability programs into 4 different groups. Group number 1, they did an exceptional job at planning and scheduling. They were a machine at getting work done, using work orders, and you know, everybody knew how to get work done. It all got planned. They had equipment maintenance plans, and it got done just, you know, very systemically. They saw their output results improve 0.5%. Kind of disappointing for a lot of that work. Group number 2 focused on predictive technologies and just did an exceptional job using their IR, their Vibe, their UE systems, their lubrication, and they could predict everything. But they did that to the detriment of their planning and scheduling system. So some of the things kind of got a little sloppy around executing the work that they needed to do based on those technologies. They actually saw the results get worse by 2.4%. Highly discouraging. Group number 3 combined planning, scheduling with predictive technologies. Okay, they saw their output improve by 5%. Kind of disappointing, you know, when you're focusing on something, you got a massive effort that you sold, you went to seminars, you went to training, you may even hired people, and you know, you got all those little boxes checked and you're doing everything from a reliability standpoint, 5%. Yeah, it's hard to feel good about that. Group number 4, they added problem solving to planning, scheduling, kitting, to predictive maintenance systems. They added the element of, are we better on Friday than we are on Monday? Are we learning as we go? They put together OEE teams. They had ad hoc teams put together on certain failure modes that was common at their plant. They saw their results improve by 15%. I thought this was very encouraging. We took a hard look with my team on how we were staffed around problem solving, and it was really on paper. We did a lot of reactive work with our engineers, and you know, people that we had that were, you know, said to be reliability engineers. When you looked at what they were doing, it was 1 day a week maximum. They were responding to emergencies. They were being protocol owners for things like lockout, tagout. Good system. Important value, but is that what you want your reliability engineers working on? Do you want them working on environmental things and all these other special projects and then you think they're working 50 hours a week on strategic problems, and then you find out it's 5. That's where we were. So we made some changes. We had 8 engineers, and that were divided up amongst 8 areas, and we felt good about it. What we did is we divided the plant up into 6 areas of freeing up 2 people. And I went to the leadership team and I said, hey, we want to run a 90-day experiment. It's a common theme for me. A 90-day experiment with these 2 people freed up to work on strategic problems. Nobody in the organization but me can tell them what to work on. Okay, so don't give them a phone call and say, can you do this for an hour? Can you do this for an hour? We want to charge them with working on the systemic issues that was hurting our plant. What's the data tell us to work on? Okay, so did that experiment. Okay, now and then we just continued it on. After about a year, dramatic results. We saw our R&M spend go down by 40% was our run rate, 40%. And we also had OEE improvements on our bottleneck PCs. We're in that 47% range up into the low 80s, all by having these people freed up. And remember, 1 ounce of prevention is a pound of cure. 1 hour of doing proactive work prevents 10 hours of reactive work. It's huge, that snowball effect, and then we tapped into that. The 2 secrets. Secret number 1, you must have problem solving built into the structure of how you do reliability maintenance and production. Okay, and it has to be built in. This can be OEE teams on critical assets. This can be focus teams on things like lube. If like lube's in 70% of your failures, have a lube team. Let's knock that off the table. Let's do a great job at lubrication. Let's do ultrasonic lubrication. Let's make sure all of our points are labeled and all of our greases are labeled. And we have a lube room that is quarantined from dust. Maybe you have a lot of large motors, and that's a major expense. And so we're going to do a great job with our motors. We're going to do precision maintenance on installing, and then we're going to autopsy every failure, early failure that we find from predictive technology. So that problem-solving piece has to be built in. So that's secret number 1. Don't assume problem-solving is happening. Make sure you got the structure for it. That's where all your money is going to come from. Remember in the examples above, group 3 had 5%, you added problem solving, they got to 15%. Oh, Joe here saw 40%. So that's the gasoline on your reliability system, is the problem solving. Secret number 2, part-time reliability engineers do not work. The urgent is always going to take priority over the strategic. So when they come in to work here on Tuesday, they're going to get drug into the daily fray of stuff. Their daily management meeting is going to say, work on this, and this, and that drama drives everything. And then by the end of the day, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and say, okay, I'm going to put on my reliability hat, and they're going to go, we'll try it again tomorrow. And then tomorrow is the same old thing. So secret number 2, part-time reliability engineers don't work. Now, if you only have 1 engineer at your whole operation, they have to be part-time, okay. But if you've got 4 and you've got them spread out like I had, consider making one of them full-time and the other 3, focused on the maintenance engineer or the capital engineer part of the role instead of and having a full-time reliability engineer. So your lean-driven reliability action for this week, very simple. Tap a reliability engineer on the shoulder and ask them what they did yesterday. Evaluate how strategic and how tactical their answer is. And is it based on the historical problems year over year that we know we're going to get killed on motors, we're going to get killed on lube, that's going to be a common theme for us. Are they working on those problems, or are they working on the here and now? That's your challenge for the week. Again, if you like what you're hearing, hit subscribe. You've got my email below. I'd love to hear questions that I can respond to on the email, or may even make a video about. So thank you, and have a great, reliable day.